What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday, and I'm so excited to be talking to you about the Top 5 albums of 1980. Of course, this is, as always, my personal opinion, so don't crucify me on this one because you may have a few surprises thrown in here, but I'm telling you, this was a great year in music, and let's get right to it. At number 5... Uprising by Bob Marley, his last album, which ends with one of his most beautiful songs in his entire catalog, Redemption Song. Just for that track alone, it's worthy of being on the list. But then you've also got Could This Be Love, one of his greatest upbeat riffs, like just that dum 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 dum. When that comes in, I'm like, oh yes, man, so great. And both of those songs are on his Legend compilation, which in my opinion is one of the greatest hits albums ever made. But man, just to know what he was going through on this last record, he knew he already had a death sentence essentially, but came out with one of his strongest records, and that's just at number 5. So now at number 4, The Empire Strikes Back soundtrack by John Williams. Yes, it's very rare that I put, a score of a film on a top 5 list, but this one is worthy. I mean, come on, man. Just the Star Wars theme song, let alone all the other themes that came onto this. You had Darth Vader's Imperial March for the first time. You had Yoda's theme, Leia and Han's theme, just all the music that when you hear it, it brings you right back into that world and a galaxy far, far away. And John Williams is just one of the greatest, not just conductors, but, one of the greatest, not songwriters, what is the term? Orchestral classical writers of all time. I don't know what I'm talking about, but guys, it is so good. And, it's not something that I like blast on the stereo or anything, but when you listen to this, you're just like, it's magical, man. It's so good. So that's at my number 4. Now at number 3... Remain in Light by Talking Heads. Yes, man, just for once in a lifetime alone, worthy of being on this list, but you've got so many other cool songs. I mean, just the opening track, Born Under Punches, you're in for something totally unusual that you haven't heard before. I mean, when you think about it, of course, they had already had several albums to their name, but this was like when they really got popular and people that were new to them were like, what is this music, man? And, with the influence of Brian Eno, and just the mad genius of David Byrne, this is, I don't know. I don't know if I would say it's my favorite Talking Heads album, but a lot of people would argue it is the best, and it's hard to argue that it's not. So that's at my number 3. Now at number 2... People say I'm crazy. Double Fantasy by John Lennon. Another swan song on the list. Like Bob Marley, sadly, this would be Lennon's final album, even though Milk and Honey did come out posthumously. But man, as just what an artistic comeback for the guy who hadn't been doing anything really in several years. His last good album before that was in the mid-70s. But you had so many hits. Just like Starting Over, Beautiful Boy, Woman, my favorite, Watching the Wheels. And even though there's Yoko Ono songs on here like Kiss Kiss that are just horrendously bad, it does detract from the overall album. It's almost, in a way, kind of cute, even though I do skip those songs totally. It's endearing that, their love for one another, and John, just the way he championed her as an artist, was really a beautiful thing looking back on that whole relationship. But some of John Lennon's best work, and that's my number 2. So now at number 1... The Blues Brothers soundtrack. Yes, another soundtrack. This one is not a score. This one did have a bunch of songs, some that were in the film, some that were not. Mostly they were all in there though. Just from the opener, She Caught the Katy. The Blues Brothers are really an underrated band. They had some of the greatest session players of all time in their band, like Steve Cropper and Donald Duck Dunn, and the horn section was so great, just bringing it up another notch. And truly, the vocals of John Belushi are great. And Dan Aykroyd, no slouch either, playing harmonica and doing some vocals here and there. But then you've got all the other songs from Ray Charles, from James Brown. Aretha Franklin's version of Think on this album is incredible, better than the original in my opinion. Just every song on here will bring you back to this fun, great John Landis directed movie from 1980, which there's not anything like it, really. It's a musical comedy that also has tons of action, tons of smashed up police cars, just incredible the things they got away with on that film. But man, what a soundtrack. One of the greatest soundtracks of all time, especially if you love the blues, if you love R&B, this is incredible. So that's my top 5, guys. Would love to see your comments. I would love to see your top 5, even a top 10 if you would like to. And let me know what you think of mine. I know you're probably going to say, what's with all the soundtracks? But hey, guys, I was a kid in the early 80s and just this wide-eyed kid seeing Star Wars and the Blues Brothers was life-changing to me. So what can I say? But guys, thank you so much for watching, for subscribing, for commenting. We got top 5s every Friday, album reviews, top 100s as well. And guys, thank you as always. Viva la vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.